Good afternoon. How y'all doing today? So I don't know. We're just gonna start and see what happens. Kind of tired today. Some of you are worried about a situation that involves you having to walk away from something, or a job, a situation, whatever it is, you have to walk away from it. Spirit's saying you're too caught up in the situation to actually see what's happening. Like, you can't see the bigger picture, so you need to kind of step back and pay attention and observe everything that's going on before you make any decisions or take any action forward, okay? And don't be so caught up in your head and be so worried about everything that's happening, because the more you worry, you're just putting more bad energy into what you're trying to create or what you're trying to go towards or away from. So just try to focus on the positive and have faith that everything is going to work out for your highest good. So, excuse me. So they're showing me that basically it feels like you've hit rock bottom and you're like trying to climb a mountain, but you're having such a hard time getting to where you're trying to go because you keep trying to approach it in the same manner. So if you keep going at this in the same way, you're just going to become exhausted and you're not going to get to where you're trying to go. So you have to find a way around it. You know, just because it's like, okay, there's a mountain here, I can go take a straight path up, you know, which could be difficult, or you can go around it. Try to find the path of least resistance. Find the easier way to go around what it is you're trying to do to get to where you're trying to go. Because they're showing it's like you're really thinking about walking away and you're just afraid and you're really in your head about this. But understand there's nothing to worry about, because if this is your path and this is your journey and this is what you're meant to do, then everything's going to work out as it's meant to. And there's never a wrong decision. Whatever path you take, there's only going to be lessons to learn if it's not the right one. Okay? So don't look at it as, oh, I fucked up. You can always change course. But there will be perseverance. But you have to relieve that negative, toxic energy, that negative self-talk that you keep telling yourself it's not going to work out, or this isn't going to go good, or they're going to shit on me, or whatever it is that you keep telling yourself that you're not good enough or something isn't going to work in your favor. You have to stop, okay? I said this yesterday, and it's like everybody always focuses on the negative, and that's a lot of conditioning that we grow up with. So when you're conditioned to always focus on the negative or believe the negative, then that's what happens. Try to focus on the positive and say, you know what? I'm going to imagine everything working out good and let the pieces fall where they may. So just keep doing that and work towards that, okay? Because they're showing that you are going to persevere in this situation. So don't allow the negative self-talk to get you down or get you to that point where you feel like you're not going to overcome it. Just try to find a creative solution to whatever problem you have going on right now that you feel you keep hitting a wall with, okay? But don't worry, because worrying is like prayer backwards. You know, you pray for good things and for healing and for everything else. And worrying is like, oh God, I'm going to die, or this bad thing's going to, and that's what you're manifesting. So don't do that. Try to be positive with whatever it is you have going on. Now, the other message here is Spirit's asking you to trust your intuition in order to solve any problems that you have, or anything that you're having issues believing, okay? You have to trust yourself. You can't always rely on outside sources. Even me reading for you, because this is a collective reading. So even me giving you this information, it's great because it's a form of guidance, but ultimately you have to always go within and trust yourself, okay? You know what's best for you. Hola, boo. So no matter what you do, you always have to trust yourself and do what's best for you, okay? Regardless of what any reader says, anybody, I don't care who they are. Trust yourself. And you have to let go of any beliefs you have about yourself, because the more you limit yourself and the more you hold yourself in, the word I'm looking for, I can't find the word I'm looking for, but the more you keep yourself in a place where you're like, okay, maybe you were an asshole before, or you were a liar, cheater, whatever it was that you were in your, I'm not going to say your past life, but before today. And let's assume that you become a better person every day. Hello, how are you doing today? Thank you. I love my hair. Took forever. But you have to stop believing that you are still that individual. Every day we grow, every day we learn, every day you become a better person. Well, not all people, but most of us that are working on ourselves. So stop holding on to that past part of you that makes you feel like you're not good enough or you're not worthy enough to have something, because you are. Okay, so Spirit needs you to kind of allow a break, take a break, and allow rest and rejuvenation to take over, okay? Because you need that in order for things to continue to move forward. And some of you are holding on to your pride for dear fucking life, and it's something that you need to release, because pride is good when you're proud of something that you've done or something that you've accomplished, but it's not good in the sense where you feel like you're too good to do something, or you're above everybody else, or everybody else is beneath you. So if you're holding on to that, you have to let that go in order to move forward, because none of us are better than the other. We're all different, and our path is very different from one another, but we're all here together to help each other through this. But there is going to be a spark of creativity that's going to come to you, and that spark that you get is going to open up the path for you. It's going to lead the way for where you're trying to go, and it's going to bring powerful change for you. Okay, so you really have to start trusting your intuition and finding more creative ways to go about solving the problems that you're currently facing, okay? But definitely no more self-talk. It's easy to talk negatively, and a lot of us have a harder time saying positive things about ourselves, and we talk really shitty to ourselves, but we wouldn't say that to a friend. You know, we'd uplift them. We'd be like, no, you're good, and you're great, and you're awesome, and you're beautiful. Say the same things to yourself, okay? Don't bad talk yourself, because I'm sure there's more than enough people that are hating on you right now that are talking all types of shit about you. You don't need to do it to yourself too, okay? That's the same shit I tell my kids. There's enough toxicity in the world. We don't need it in the house. So please allow yourself to take the breather and kind of reassess and talk to yourself in a healthy manner, so that way you can have the outcome that you need. Now, others of you are having issues with setting limits. It's important to have boundaries in any type of relationship that you go into, whether it's a friendship, partnership, business, whatever it is. It's important to have boundaries, because if you don't have boundaries, then people are going to walk all over you. People are going to push your boundaries to see how far they can go with you, and you have to maintain it. It's like when you go to war, you know, the more the other person advances and you're here, if you keep going backwards, then they're going to get to where you are. They're going to take over all your shit. But if you keep on advancing and they retreat, then it's better for you. But you hold your ground, you know, you don't let them just, hey, I want to take your shit, and you're going to let them take it over. No, you maintain your ground. So it's okay to say no to people. Don't feel bad for saying no, because sometimes it's just no. You don't feel like it. You don't feel good. You don't want to do the shit. Then no. You know, I'm sorry, but I'm not up to it. There's some of you holding on to, you're attached to something that you're not letting go right now. And it's something that either caused you pain, something that it's a lot of pain, and it's a lot of emotional vulnerability that you're holding on to. Whatever it was that happened before, you're still kind of replaying it in your head, and you're holding on to it. And in order for this energy to be dissolved, you have to forgive. Forgiveness has to take place in order for this to happen. Because our ancestors, they're over us right now. They're watching us. But like I said before, sometimes tweaking needs to take place. We might have an idea in our mind and a way things are meant to work out, or how we see them working out. And it's not going to happen that way, because we see a direct path. Spirit sees a whole nother path for us. So sometimes tweaking is necessary, and that's what they're showing me now, is that you have to pay attention to the details. So the small little things that you may overlook, that you might not really be focused on or paying attention to, you have to pay attention to all of those things right now, okay? Because they're saying you have to make adjustments and tweak things in order for it to work out in your favor, okay? And some of you need to shut up and observe. So like, pay attention to what's happening, because a lot of us just go through life and we're not observant of the people around us or what's happening around us. So you can't control everything in everybody's life. Shit, we barely have control over our own lives. We have free will, but that's within limits. So understand that it's important to kind of just observe everything that's happening, take everything in that's happening, but don't hold on to the toxic negative energy, because forgiveness is very important in all things. You know, if you think of the things you've done to other people that you feel genuinely bad about and you would want forgiveness, it's the same thing. You know, they probably feel bad and they want forgiveness too. So don't be afraid to forgive. That don't mean you go and be stupid and let them do the shit over again. No, you forgive it and let it go. And if it's something you need to leave, then leave it. But if it's not and you could stay, then stay. But it needs forgiveness. So if this is a relationship, maybe you're approaching it in the wrong direction and it needs some tweaking in order to get the outcome you're desiring. Or if it's work and you're creating something and maybe it's like, damn, this is really hard for me. Find an easier way. There's another way to go about it and get it done, okay? But release the attachment that you have to the outcomes, because when you start doing that, you begin limiting yourself to what you really want and what you're trying to get to, okay? Because the more we specify, it's like, yes, I want this, 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 and this, and this, then you're going to miss blessings because you're being entirely too specific. You know, highlight the most important features, and if everything else is workable, allow it to be workable, because then Spirit has a way to move and make things happen. Now, for some of you, there is a contract that's coming up. Now, contracts, it can be houses, cars, partnerships, relationships, whatever it is, but they're showing that you have multiple possibilities. And for some of you, this is in regards to a spiritual career. Spirit is calling you right now to step into your full power. A lot of you are playing it small because you might be afraid that you're not good enough, or you're worried about what other people are going to think of you. Understand that there are millions of people that are out there doing shit that you want to do that are half as fucking qualified, half as talented. They don't have what you have. So don't be afraid of stepping out and saying, you know what, I'm going to do this and fuck it. Because everybody has their own special qualities. Okay, when I speak to you. Excuse me. When I speak to you guys, and it's because this is what I'm called to do. And those that watch me is because you guys resonate with me. Now, there's other people that do this. Hi, Micah. How are you doing today? There's other people that, you know, there's millions of readers. And you might not resonate with all of them. It's the same with anything else. Everybody has their own group of people, okay? Everybody isn't going to love you. Everybody isn't going to say yes. There's going to be people that hate you. And there's somebody else that's doing the same shit that they love. So it's just the way it works out. So don't feel bad. Don't feel like I'm not good enough, because you are good enough. And they're showing me that they want you to step up. Sayo. But they're showing that there's going to be a lot of happiness and a lot of joy to come in, but confidence is a necessary factor in this. You have to be confident in what you're doing, and definitely allow yourself to be compassionate and forgiving, especially to yourself. If you've done something that hurt people, or if you've been a shitty individual and you just like, damn, I fucked up, be compassionate with yourself and understand that it was just a learning process, okay? And be able to forgive yourself, because a lot of us can't do that. It is very hard. I pray for it every fucking day. Believe me. So, you know, sometimes it's easier if you pray for forgiveness and you also send your forgiveness to those that have wronged you. You know, and I know it's hard because people do shitty things. But I pray every day that I'm forgiven. I pray every day that those that I have wronged find it in their hearts to forgive me. Because I don't want the bad energy. I don't want the bad karma. I don't want any of that. I honestly want the peace. So be okay with that and allow that to take place. But some of you need to check the patterns that you have from childhood, the things that you've been holding on to from when you were a kid, and the way you've been dealing with situations, because some of those old patterns and those old habits will keep you stuck, will keep you repeating cycles, and will keep you in the same patterns that you've been trying to let go of and move forward from. Okay, so if you notice like, damn, you know, I have a habit of self-sabotaging, or I have a habit of not completing things or following through, go back to your childhood and see where those first instances occurred and try to heal those things, because once you heal them, it'll be easier for you to follow through on these things. It'll be easier for you to make progress. And my thing is, consistency is hard for me. Okay. Hi, Nikki. How are you? I missed you guys too. Believe me, I was fucked up for a while. It was terrible. I'm so happy. I struggled with consistency because every time I did something that I truly loved and I was really passionate about, I had a crazy mom. So she'd be like, nah, you ain't doing that shit. You're done. And I'm just like, but I really like dancing. No. I'm like, I really like the play. No. Like, it was my life. It just happened that way. So just try to set it up and try to be focused and set like, okay, 20 minutes today, 20 minutes tomorrow, a little bit of time every day. Don't just dive full in and be like, I'm going to give it a whole fucking 8 hours, 5 days a week. Don't do that. So just do a little bit at a time and then build yourself up. It'll make it easier, okay? So understand you have everything you need to be successful. You just need the confidence within yourself to do it. And be strong enough and have enough faith, okay? The energy that's coming in, a lot of this might be taking place around Mercury retrograde, and there's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening with partners, stability, and some of you are going to be receiving messages. Scorpio and Sagittarius came out predominantly today, so if any of those signs resonate with you, maybe this is just a confirmation for you guys. But those are the messages that I have for you today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will probably be back on here tomorrow. I hope you guys have an awesome day. I love you. Bye.